Good morning, it's 6:45. Welcome back to Great Day for this Tuesday. And coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about the happiest zip codes in America. And I know one thing people are very happy about is when they go out to their car on days like today, turn the key, and your car starts. That's a nice feeling. And Ron the Car Guy taking a break, and Joe the Car Guy is in today. And when you turn that key, you're hopefully going to hear the motor start.
Exactly.
Starter fire up, and that's all because of what's sitting in front of you.
It is, yeah. The battery is really a lifeblood. I mean, for your car's electrical system, without it, you're not going anywhere.
That's true.
And with everything that's turned into electrical on cars now, I mean, it really is. I mean, it's one of the main things for your car.
It's almost gotten to the point where we need more than one battery in some cars, right?
Some cars actually do have them. On European models, they've got an accessory battery that runs, I mean, your radio and your different accessories, and then there's actually a starter motor battery.
All by itself?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, that is coming down the pipeline from the European models. The average battery life in Iowa is about 4 years. It's 4 years and 2 months if you get exact here in central Iowa.
Wow.
So if you've got a battery over 4 years, you're taking a chance every time you crank it.
Which is something you want to think about if you're buying a used car.
Exactly.
Is there a born-on date on a battery? So
There is a born-on date on a battery. AAA uses a code, which you really can't see it, but there's a sticker right here. And it goes by letters and a number. They don't use the letter I for whatever reason. I don't know who determined that or why.
There you go.
So like how old is this battery?
This battery, for example, M would be December and 4 would be 14.
Okay.
So it'd be December of 14. And there really are freshness on batteries. You might go to a big box store and they buy, mass quantities of batteries. It could be sitting on the shelf for a year.
Sure.
You've got a year-old battery before it ever touches your car.
So it's 25% like non-value.
Exactly.
You take it off the shelf.
Yeah, but you can tell it's not 25% off.
Yeah, of course it's not. Yeah.
Now, is it losing life just sitting there, or does driving day to day make it lose battery life?
It can actually lose some just sitting. I mean, the time of a battery, it's kind of, it's going to cause it to break down the stuff that's inside there. I mean, obviously.
So the clock is ticking.
The clock's ticking on a battery after it's made, yes.
Okay.
There's some myths with batteries, out there that people are always.
For example,
it just needs recharged is one that we get a lot. If a battery is dead and won't start your car, and the accessory lights weren't left on, or you didn't leave your cell phone plugged in, and your alternator's working, you need a battery. It doesn't need recharged.
You're not going to bring it back to life.
You're not going to bring it back to life. There's no battery life support. Okay. Another one is it's just cold, which is what we're dealing with right now. I mean, that's a really big myth, because if you look at the driveway next to you and the neighbor's car started and that neighbor's car started, it's not just because it's cold. Your battery didn't fail because it was cold.
It would have to be really, really cold for the battery to not work.
Yeah,
right? A good battery.
There's no temperature in Iowa that we've ever seen that would cause a properly maintained, or not properly maintained, but a properly charged battery to not start your car.
Is that a good indication in the wintertime? Is it really testing your battery to its fullest if it's cold outside?
Yeah, it's definitely putting more strain on it. So, I mean, it can finish the job, but you had a problem back in September when it was 70 degrees because the battery's 6 years old or whatever the case may be.
It's just now showing itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's found the place where it's going to.
Yeah, this is, if we remember correctly, this is the second most crucial time to make sure your battery's functional. But when it gets really, really hot, that's one time when the battery can break down really quickly, and then the weather we're experiencing now is the second one.
Extreme heat and extreme cold finish the job, so to speak. I mean, on a battery. We get a lot of battery calls if there's a long period of heat, too. I mean, that'll cause them to fail just as much as the cold will. So that's definitely a myth that it's just cold is not starting your car.
Okay.
The last one is the big box stores have batteries for less. And I guess I shouldn't say that's really a myth. They do have them for less, but you're also sacrificing A, potential quality, B, warranty, and C, what we were talking about, where it could be sitting on their, a pallet in the back room for a year before it ever sees the shelf. The biggest thing is cold cranking amps on a car. That's what actually, when you hit the key, that's what's starting the car. That's what spins the motor over.
Okay.
The other thing to look and make sure of is what's called reserved capacity. And that's how much power the battery actually has inside of it. So you don't want to go to a big box store and buy a battery for $52 that has half of the cold cranking amps and half of the reserve capacity, because you're going to get what you pay for.
What is a good battery run nowadays, roughly? Just ballpark it.
A good battery can run anywhere, and it depends on your vehicle. It's every model. It can run from $130 up to $215 on some of the hybrids, because they still do have a starter.
I remember in
battery.
driver's ed way back a long time ago, they taught us, and this is cold weather, there's going to be people jumping their cars across the metro today for one reason or another.
Yep.
They always taught us how to do it, and they said you got to be careful because sometimes the battery will blow up. Does that ever really happen?
That is a true statement that can happen. If we pull up to a battery and that battery is actually frozen, the acid inside is broke back down to water and it is frozen. If we hook up to it to jump start it, it has the potential for it to crack and go boom.
And explode.
Yeah.
How do you know it's frozen?
We'll hook a voltmeter up when we get to the car and see if it has less than 3 volts in it and it's this cold, that battery's frozen.
I see.
And then
Okay.
we're not going to jump start.
Good to know. All right.
For safety reasons, not
to
because
know.
we're.
All right, now on days like today, maybe you did have a battery that finally died on you, totally died. Do you guys come out and swap them out and put a new battery in?
Yeah, we've got mobile service, and they actually carry batteries on the truck, and they carry one in every major size that you can think of at least.
Okay.
So that if we come out to the vehicle, we're equipped to change it right there, so you don't have to worry about tow trucks, which we have if you need one. But you know, we can do everything right there, so they can come do it in the work parking lot. And
Is there any kind of indicator yet where we know it's getting to the end of the road, or it's just when we turn that ignition switch and it doesn't work?
There are some things that can happen. You know, I mean, you go to, everybody's heard the slight groaning noise when they go to start, like it's working really hard to get going. That's something you don't want to ignore because it's not far off.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So if people need your assistance, how do they get a hold of you?
They can find us on the web at westsiderautopros.com. They can call us at 225-9090, and we're there all the time.
All right.
That works. Joe the Car Guy, thank you very much, sir.
You bet. Joe.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
It is 6:52. We'll be right back. Totally serious news, including the happiest zip codes in America, next on Great Day.